If I gave you the exact foundations and insights that I spent $47,000 in 3 years of time for, that I used to scale from around 5K a month to 100K a month, then would you give me around an hour of your time? So over the past few years, I've spent $47,000, yeah, $47,000 in coaching from people like Serge Gari, Joel Kaplan, Iman Gadzhi, and a lot of other people. And quite frankly, it's probably been the best decision I've made for me and my business. I wouldn't be anywhere near I am today if it weren't for them to fast track my success. So a little bit of backstory about Joel, Iman, and Serge, if you don't know them, they all scaled an agency to over 100K a month. Iman scaled his to 100K a month, Joel's to 350K a month, and Serge's to $500,000 a month. They've all scaled other businesses and opportunities to 7 and 8 figures as well. Basically, they're multimillionaires. They've been some of the top guys in the agency space for years now, and the thing that I realized is they all have such a different outlook on business, but life in general too, which made me realize there's no exact or right way to do things. Actually, all of them think way differently, and they're all doing over 500K a month in their businesses right now. So clearly, whatever they're doing is working. So I'm going to be going over all the lessons I learned from these 7 and 8 figure guys that helped me catapult my success, breaking down the exact philosophies, acquisition, sales, and fulfillment strategies that they all agree and disagree on, and showing you exactly how you can implement those things to scale to 100K a month, so you don't have to spend 47 grand in 3 years to get the same insights that I did. So do yourself a favor, take some notes, and soak in this training. All right, guys, so this is the training on the fastest path to 100K a month by leveraging insights that I spent $47,000 for. So what we're going to be going over today, so today's agenda is 1, how to create an offer that people truly, and I mean truly, feel stupid saying no to, which allows you to charge much higher tickets, so $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 up front and keep way higher margins. 2nd, the old way of acquiring clients and how we can go about it so our prospects A, trust us, and B, respect us way more, which in turn increases close rate, and in turn increases the amount of cash we collect and revenue we generate, obviously. 3, the path to 100K a month with organic and paid acquisition. So the exact strategy that I use to scale my business with organic and long form content, and that I use to scale my agency to 50K a month with organic content and outreach, and also the exact funnels that we're running for paid acquisition in order for my solar agency to scale to $100,000 a month. So 4, how the top guys in the space, how the biggest people in the marketing agency space, in the coaching space, in everything are acquiring clients, and how and why you need to leverage it as soon as possible. 5, the main reason why people are stuck at less than 10K a month with their agency, and how to combat the bottleneck as soon as possible. Because if you think about that one, even the richest person in the world, how much more is he working than you? But how much more money is he making than you? Right? So on to the 6th thing, everybody has the same 24 hours. Everybody works the same amount. So why are some people making $1 million a year, $5 million a year, and then why are other people stuck and can't scale? So everything we're going over today, and the proof is always in the pudding that this shit works, guys. So Jacob, you see right here, 33 demos with $50 a day in ad spend. So 33 demos in a week. How much cash collected? $9,500 and another $13K in the pipeline. Josh, small win, collected a deposit for the new offer, supposed to collect the rest this weekend. Josh is a short form content agency, not running normal Facebook ads, but we implemented the same exact system and the same exact thing, same exact results. And then Ben closed another client on a 6-month mastermind deal for $14,000, paid in full, making it $50K a month. So the proof is in the pudding, and you'll always hear me fucking say that believe me, don't believe me, I don't give a fuck, right? You can do whatever you want. So if you're new here, here is my exact story for the past pretty much 3 years now. So January 2021, I was quote unquote dialed in, right? If you're new here. So this is me. Oh, sorry about that. This is me in my house in Arizona spending $500 a month on rent, splitting it and sharing a room. So this is right when I started my agency. And I was like all you guys, watching the videos, watching the courses, Iman Gadzhi, all these people, and just like grinding. I was locked in, sitting in the room, sending cold emails. Iman Gadzhi's agency navigator, I think that's what it was, or incubator, taught me how to send 50 cold emails a day. So this is my cold email script, trying to put together a irresistible offer. Use the software called Lemlist. And you see, this is the first click I ever got on my calendar link on the cold email thing. I was fucking stoked. You fucking that was the fucking day of my life. I thought I was like Mark Cuban at that point. So this whole time I was dialed in, right? And I fucking wasn't. And I wasn't all in, and I wasn't putting the effort and work into my agency that I needed to be to actually scale. And everybody thinks they're dialed. Everybody thinks they're locked in and putting in the effort that they need to be. But look at me being a degenerate, probably drinking 3 days a week and working, like, and genuinely working. I was sleeping in late, but I was putting in like 4 hours a day, and I really thought that was enough. So this is exactly where I was, locked in on the courses 2021. In 2022, I did my first 100K a month. So I did around $800,000 in revenue this year. And in 2023, today of May this year, we've hit our first $200,000 month. Now I was in New York in, I think that might have been February. I think I went twice this year. Just got my first Rolex at the beginning of this year. And basically, this is the transformation of basically being a degenerate, thinking I was grinding, thinking I was locked in, to actually making it happen, actually putting in actionable things to shift my progress forward, to go from thinking and pretending to being the actual person that I wanted to be. And I show you this to show you that it's not as far as you think it is, right? It's not 3 years apart. And that's exactly my goal of today's training, is to show you that where you are right now is not far from where you want to be, your desired state. All it takes is a paradigm shift. So my goal today, by the end of this training, is to give you the insights. First off, business insights, but second off, almost more importantly, the mindset insights that I paid 3 years and more than $40,000 for. And by the end, I want you to know and have clarity on how to scale, because that's the most important thing. But before we proceed, I need something from you. I need you to realize that you owe it to yourself to be great. And I know you're thinking that right now, and you're like, of course, Cole. Of course I do. Right? But I need you to go all in and change. I know you think, and I know you think that you owe it to yourself to be great, but I need you to feel it. And I need you to put some action behind those words. Because doing the same thing that everybody else is doing, all your friends that are running an agency, if you're doing the same thing they're doing, why do you think you're not scaling? A lot of you guys probably have like 15 friends that all have an agency that you met online, and you guys are all stuck under 10K a month, and you're confused why none of you guys are scaling, and you're all doing the same fucking thing. You're all sending cold emails. You're all booking like 4 appointments a week, maybe 10, maybe even you're filling the calendar like 3 a day, and you just can't close them. You're not consistent. But I need you to, first off, make the decision today to change. Make the decision right now to change. Because, like I just said, change when something doesn't work. You don't need to do it more. If the way you're closing isn't working, you don't need to do it more. If the way you're outreaching isn't giving you quality calls, then you don't need to do more. If the way you're running your ads, if the way you're fulfilling isn't working, you don't need to do it more. You need to change. And I don't know, like, how simple is that? But that was almost probably one of the biggest bottlenecks that I had in my agency. I was doing more and more of the shit that didn't fucking work. But do me a favor, take notes, and get rid of all the distractions. This training has the potential to change your situation, as it did for me, as it did for many others. So, yeah. First, these are the lessons that I took from Iman, my first mentor, the first person I ever learned anything from in business. And these are the insights that I look back on, and I'm like, hey, this is what we can take from him. So if you don't know Iman, which I'm 100% sure you do, he owned a $100,000 a month SMMA in the e-com niche. And now he's doing biz ops, so teaching agency stuff, high ticket closing, copywriting. I'm not sure what else, and he doesn't show this, but he's definitely doing over $1 million a month. I want to say he does 2 to 4 million per launch that he does. So like educate. What else? What other digital renaissance, the stuff like that. He definitely does around 2 to 4 million per launch there. So essentially, the biggest insight that I've taken from Iman is if you have attention on you, you will always make money. And the moment you don't have eyeballs on you and attention on you, you no longer are in business. Right? So to elaborate on that a little bit, like if you have eyeballs on your product, people are seeing you, you're getting in front of eyes, you're basically, whether that's with outreach, with DMs or with cold emails or with ads or with content, if you have a stream of getting attention on you, you will make money. Right? And it's that simple, because if no one's seeing your shit, no one's going to book an appointment and no one's going to close. But if you have attention, you will always be able to convert that attention into a buyer and into a prospect. So rich people buy attention and they make an ROI. And this is what's called a direct response ad. So 97% of your market, so let's say you're in the real estate niche, 97% of realtors don't want to buy your shit and they're not ready to buy it. But there's that 3% that is ready to buy and that wants lead generation and that wants short form content. And when you're running ads, that's exactly what you're targeting. And the same thing when you're fulfilling for your clients. There's the 3% of the population that wants to sell their home, but the rest of the 97% are just chilling, you know? And so the rich people are finding that 3% of the audience, putting an ad in front of their face, right? And then getting a direct response on that. So they immediately see it and they immediately get the response, yes or no, do you want to buy it? Not do you want to buy it, are you interested in it? So rich people being able to scale to 20K, 30K, 40K, 50K a month with direct response ads, very possible. But wealthy people, and that's beyond rich, long-term wealth, right? Building generational wealth, they own attention. What I mean by that is the attention keeps coming back. And it will always keep coming back. So Google, they own the attention. Everybody uses Google every single day, and they sell it. Right? So they sell it to advertisers. They sell it for placements, and they're worth 1.5 trillion. Meta, Facebook, Instagram, they own attention, and they sell it, worth $700 billion. Iman Gadzhi, he owns attention, and he sells courses, and he makes $2 to $4 million every launch. So these people, they don't just get the attention and generate it. They get the attention, they nurture the attention, they own the attention, and then they convert it, right? So, and if you think about it like this, when have you ever, and I mean ever, clicked on an ad and bought something expensive from it, right? And like, if you even think of the general knowledge of ads, not knowledge, but like reputation, it's like, oh, fuck that ad. I don't want to fucking skip the ad, scroll past the ad, right? And especially if you're trying to sell something for $2,000, $3,000, like high ticket, when would you ever buy something that price from seeing an ad? But if you were to watch Iman's videos all the time and then see something in his description, like what do you think your odds of buying something from that ad or choosing to do it on an organic video? It's a world of a difference. So Iman's going to be rich for the rest of his life because of him as a person and his audience. And that goes the same for Jake Paul, for Kim K, for KSI, for Logan Paul, for Conor McGregor, for The Rock, for everybody that just has a bunch of eyeballs on them. If you have an audience, you can be richer than Hermosi, even if you're fucking dumb. Think about how much money Jake Paul makes. It's fucking ridiculous, and that shit is upsetting. And this is also think about, so Jake Paul is worth $30 million, Google says, which I think he's worth more. But what the fuck does Jake Paul know that you don't know? Think about it. The only reason Jake Paul is worth $30 million is because has a bunch of attention on him, right? And so he had so much attention that he converted to boxing, and those people wanted to buy the pay-per-view, or they wanted to watch the event, right? And so if he didn't have that attention, then he wouldn't have made any money. But since he did have that attention, right when he went into boxing, he was a shitty boxer, and he was still able to print millions of dollars. Same thing with KSI. What does he have? Is he talented inherently? Does he know a lot about business? No. But Prime is a multi-million dollar company. Why? Because KSI and Logan Paul leverage their audience where they own that attention and people like them and they have a strong brand. And now people are, right when they see Prime on the walls, it's fucking flying off. And then Kim K, don't get me started. Worth $1.7 billion. I didn't know Kim K was worth 1.7 billion with a B, right? And I don't even think she got a lot of her money from Skims, but she had that attention for having a big butt, right? And then she owned that attention, and she converted that attention into Skims, and she converted that attention into her Hulu, Keeping Up with the Kardashians, and sponsorships and brand deals and things of that nature. She leveraged her attention and then converted it. So the same thing with all these people, and with Kim K, like literally for having a big butt. If this doesn't work, then maybe you'll see me getting injections in my butt. I'm kidding, but you get the point. These people all have mass amounts of attention with low amounts of skill, and they're still making millions and millions and even billions of dollars. So when you have that attention, that's not just generated, but it's also owned, then these buyers see you as the Delta individual, so as somebody to respect. So, like, think about, again, the same example. If you were to click on somebody's ad for, let's even say, lead generation, or even buying a drink, right? So you see an ad for a drink on your TikTok or your Instagram or your Facebook, whatever social page you use. Sorry about that. Let's say it was some rando drink that you've never heard of versus the Rock's Terramana Tequila. Which one are you more willing to buy? Simply because of the name Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. And you respect Dwayne. You trust him. Have you ever met him? No, but you trust him. You see him as the Delta individual because he has power, because he's respected, because he has money, and you're way more willing to buy his product and to think it's good because of him as an individual. And in the same sense, all of Iman's audience idolizes him, right? So, like, they see the photos and reels of him smoking a cigar and him with like 15 girls, and they're like, "Oh my god, I want to make 10K a month, and I want to start a business, and I'm gonna make 10K a month and be smoking a cigar on a yacht with a bunch of girls." But essentially, they all idolize him. They all see him as that Delta individual. So when I was on the phone with these solar guys, when I first started running my agency, doing like voicemail drops and DMs and things of that nature, my prospects never bought on the first call because they didn't know who the fuck I was, what the fuck I've done, or even if I was good at anything. They didn't respect me. They didn't respect my service. They would always give me bullshit objections. They would never tell me the truth. They would always ask me for all these testimonials for this and that to see the contract, and all these objections that you just know that Iman is never getting. That Educate is never getting. The closer at Educate is never having somebody say that they need to see the contract. All right. So they respect him, like I said, the lifestyle, and 3, the value that he gives on his YouTube channel. So Iman gives the value before he even asks a buyer or a prospect for everything or anything. And I'm willing to bet it raises his close rate 5 times. The same exact thing that happened to me with my solar agency when nobody would buy on the first call. Just to give you a little perspective, my SDR, so my triager, my setter, whatever you want to call him, for my agency, who handled warm prospects, so inbound prospects who were nurtured through VSLs, and we'll get into all of that later, generated $70,000 a month in cash collected, on average. My other SDR, who handled cold outbound prospects who weren't nurtured, generated $15,000 a month on average. So the SDR who's handling those warm prospects is generating 4.5 times more cash every single month than the one handling the outbound prospects, the cold ones. And in my experience, a warm prospect, so one that's seen your brand and you've owned their attention, will spend 3 times more on the same exact service than a cold prospect. So one from direct response ads or from DMs or from anything like that. So that's $5,000 or $2,000 versus $6,000 or $15,000. So it's the world of the difference. And then with that, a warm prospect closes 2 to 3 times as fast as a cold prospect does. And I need you to realize that all your prospects are cold. This is why they don't trust you. This is why they don't respect you. And it's the same exact way that it was with me with my solar agency. And I need you to realize that you don't need 100 calls. You don't need 100 closers. Genuinely, you don't need 100 calls and 3 closers at $100K a month. You need one closer. One closer can generate you $100,000 in cash collected every single month. That's all you need. If you're giving them good calls with warm prospects who can close, you can hit 100K every single month in cash collected with one closer. So for a bonus at the end, I'll go over exactly how I implemented all of this attention, nurturing the attention, generating the owning attention, and converting it at the end so you can implement it in your niche and vertical as soon as possible. So the second mentor that I had was Joel. If you don't know about Joel, he owned a $350,000 a month Cairo agency. And right now he owns Agency Lab, doing around $800K a month, maybe even $900,000 a month right now. And it's an agency coaching business. So the main thing that I learned from him is that there is so many people starting an SMMA, so many. And the same thing with Iman. Think about it. He has 3 million subs, and there's like thousands and thousands and thousands and millions of people watching his things every day. There's tens of thousands of new entrepreneurs every day. And less than 1% succeed. So why are 99% of people doing the same thing that doesn't fucking work? So what's the difference between that 0.9%, 0.5%, and the 99.5%? So the small amount of people succeed, and this large amount of people don't. Everybody's stuck at less than 10K a month. How many agency owners you personally talk to that are doing more than that? Because I genuinely think that if you were friends with one agency owner doing 20K a month, and he gave you his insights, then you would be at 20K a month next month. So like I said, everyone's stuck at that 10K a month mark, less, and they've been running their agencies for like 6 months to a year. They don't change what they've been doing. They're doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result, which is the definition of insanity. And if we take this to a different parallel and you guys think about it like it's ridiculous, right? So let's say I was cooking. And maybe this is not a great example, but let's say I was cooking a steak. And I had the same exact steak every time. And it was 6 ounces of filet. And I would buy one every single day. And I'd put it on the grill for 8 minutes. Just 8 minutes. That's it. And then it got burnt as fuck. Overcooked. Chewy as fuck. And then the next day, I do it 8 minutes. And the next day, I do it 8 minutes. Next day, 8 minutes. Next day, 8 minutes. And it's getting fucking burnt every single time. And like, you guys are getting confused on why it's getting burnt. It's insane. Literally. So there are hundreds and thousands of people starting an agency every day with all these people. Iman, Joel, Matt Shields, Jordan Platten, everybody. And they all have the same offer, the same pricing, the same fulfillment structure. These local businesses have been on the phone with 10 other agency owners before you. I genuinely know that they tell you that. And they're offering the same thing. Facebook ads. They only offer lead gen and appointments. I guarantee you 20 appointments or you don't pay. It's all bullshit, right? It's not a business. So and if you think about it in your shoes, and this is what I'll always tell everybody. Think about it. If you're getting 100 DMs every single day, maybe not 100, let's just say 10 DMs every single day of somebody trying to set appointments for your agency, and one time you bought one, and they just fucked you over. Would you ever buy that again from people DMing you? From somebody that you're clicking on an ad? That one person ruined the whole experience for you. So you will never buy. And since SMMA has been so popular in all these niches for the past 4 years, literally everybody is saying that they've already bought and they've been burned. And that is a huge thing. So they don't see you as that other agency who fucked them over, like I said. And the comparison I like to make is you guys are like fake Louis Vuitton on the street of New York City. You guys are like that, but for agencies. Think about the big dogs in your fucking niche, right? For solar, it's like, and I always use this example solar because that's the niche I was in. Prospect Bacon, Solar Exclusive, Maximize Solar. There were agencies like this. And I'm trying to offer the same thing as them, but I'm a small fish and they're a shark with all these testimonials, all these people to talk to, all of this capital to spend. And I'm just trying to like copy them with no money, with not as much leverage with not as many people to send DMs and things of that nature. And I'm expecting to be able to compete, right? They have way more people. They have way more talent. And so how can I compete with their fulfillment or their acquisition? And think about Google. The reason that they succeed is because they're solving a direct problem that the world has for free, right? Nobody could like see things at a snap. They didn't copy anybody else. They innovated and created something timeless. So if you want, and if your goal is to scale to 20K a month, maybe even 30K, then go ahead and you can run a normal Facebook ad agency and send DMs. And if you get good enough at closing, then you can do it. And if that's your goal, 30K a month, then go ahead and click off this training because it's not going to help you. But if you want to build something timeless and scale to $100, $200, $300,000 a month and build an actual business. So what you're doing right now, right, is you're trying to do exactly what Google is doing and you're copying them and you're trying to compete with Google and you're confused why it's not working. How are you supposed to be Google? Like I was talking about earlier with the agency, Google has way more money than you. They have way more labor than you. They have way more skills than you. It's the same exact thing. And you're barely providing any value to these business owners. A VA can literally do what you're doing. A VA for $3 an hour can run their ads. So why would they pay you $2,000 for it? And think about it like Amazon. Amazon provides so much value. They solve every single problem that their clients have, which ends up bringing them more business. So with these e-commerce stores, right, the Amazon FBA business model, which is 50 to 60% of their revenue, they take care of customer service. They take care of shipping and packaging. They take care of the audience, essentially the marketing, the website. Literally all you need is the product. Amazon makes it so fucking easy. They made something different and something that actually provides more value than the normal thing, the normal websites, right? And that's why they blew the fuck up. People will see that you're different, right? So if you're doing this with your agency, people are going to see that you're different. They're going to see that you're not the same as everybody else. You're not going to get that objection anymore. So same thing with Gucci, Louis Vuitton, Apple, Sony, Rolex, Lamborghini. They're very high quality products leading to very high pricing power, meaning they can just charge a lot and it's okay and nobody complains. So the reason why these companies can charge so much is because their products are better, right? And they have that brand that we were talking with Iman. So Gucci, they use better leather. They use better materials. Same with Louis Vuitton. Apple, same thing. Lamborghini, they use better parts. Rolex, they have high quality pieces. Sony, they use better screens and things of that nature. I don't know anything about the inside of tech, but you get the point. They use better. First, they have the brand, right? And they have the trust that you get by owning that attention. And then they also have the pricing power with quality of product. People use their services. People buy their services because it's good. So people are willing to spend a lot more money on stuff that helps them a lot. And it's that simple. If something helps them a little bit, like a pencil, they're willing to pay $2 for it. But if something helps them a lot and makes them $100,000, they're willing to spend $30,000 for it. So what you're doing right now is this is where they are, right here, their current situation, and this is where they want to be. Right now, you're only offering 25% of the solution. Why don't we make an offer, and this is what Joel taught me, to solve all of their problems from A to Z. So instead of bridging this 25% gap, bridging the whole gap, getting them exactly from their current situation to exactly where they want to be. When I started bridging my gap, the whole thing for my clients with my marketing agency, it allowed me to charge 4 times more. And think about it, right? Lead gen is offering a small percentage of success. Let's say their goal is to make more money and their goal is to make $50,000 a month. And to make that much, they need to close 10 more clients. And I'm just making all this up. So let's say you get them all the leads in the world. If they can't close them, if they can't keep good margins, they're not going to make anything. So you're only offering the first 25% when you could provide way more value and make way more money with bridging this whole gap. So if this is your offer, only 25% of the gap, and you're doing cold outreach with this basic offer and this basic business, there's no wonder why you're under 10K a month. It's an average business. It's an average funnel. It's an average service. And you're most likely living an average life. Right? And so everything's average. There's nothing exceptional. And like I said, that's why you can scale to 20K, 35, 30K. But that's why you can't scale further, because this is an average business with no actual thought behind it. Right? So the third person I was mentored by was Serge Gari. Serge Gari has a $500K a month agency, an appointment setting agency for agency owners. And Serge taught me the importance of one word and one word only: leverage. And it literally changed my life. And to explain the idea of leverage, this is the best analogy I could come up with. So you could either spend 15 years of your life going to high school, college, your undergrad, and then grad school, and getting your doctoral degree and spend a bunch of money. Or you could learn how to raise capital, you could learn how to hire, you could learn how to create a brand, and you could own a hospital. You could employ doctors. Right? One of those things has infinite times more leverage than the other one. One of those people makes so much more money than the other one. Right? So the 1% that are making 300, 400, 500K a month versus the ones that are under 10K a month, they're not working harder than you. They're not working more than you. And when Serge told me this, it literally changed my life. Right? So they're not working harder. They're not working more. They're doing more leveraged, higher leveraged activities. Right? So the shit that you're doing is so unimportant, and it does not fucking matter. Sending your 100 DMs a day is the lowest leverage thing. Right? The difference between you and making 100K a month is focusing on the right things. So sending DMs, very low leverage activity, versus hiring and leveraging someone else's times, a VA time, to send DMs while you can focus on something higher leveraged, right? Like something more macro. Or spending all your time closing all day versus hiring someone else with a better closing skill set. So you can focus on things like the most important things: lead generation, lead nurture, and fulfillment. As a whole, on the macro level, on a bigger scale. Same thing as not working in your business, but working on your business. Like sending DMs and emails versus leveraging paid ads. So if you have money, you can leverage capital. So rather than sending 100 DMs and 1,000 emails a day, you can pay $200 a day, $50 a day to reach the same amount, if not more people, by just using paid ads. And this is the most important question that I ask myself when I'm working on my business, and when my clients are working on theirs. And it's just like, will this drive revenue to my business? If it's not going to, then don't do it. If it is going to, then do it. And it's the same thing. Will this action feed me in 5 years? Or will it just feed me today? And the idea, and this is honestly one of the biggest things that Serge taught me, and it was very, very important. I used to spend a lot of time learning how to close, and I wanted to be a good salesman because I thought that was a very important skill set. But Serge taught me the idea that it is not the best ROI on my time or on your time to be the best salesman, the best marketer. You are a business owner. Your job is to allocate capital and time into the right places. So do you think Iman is the best marketer, sales, fulfillment, the best at creating funnels and everything? No. He leverages hiring, capital, other people's skills, collaboration in order to succeed. So Iman hires a marketer to run his paid ads. Do you think Iman's running his paid ads? No, because he has higher leverage things to focus on. And I understand. And the same thing with sales. I understand that it's not possible if you don't have a lot of capital to be able to invest into somebody to run your marketing, to be able to invest into a fulfillment officer or a growth specialist and things of this nature. But there's still leverage you can have, right? You can leverage a $2 an hour VA. You can leverage an appointment setter or a closer that's on commission only. You don't have to go out of pocket for that at all, right? You could suck at every macro skill in business and still hit 100K a month. So you could suck at sales, you could suck at marketing, you could suck at fulfillment, you could suck at it all, and you could still hit 100K a month by leading a team, hiring, and allocating capital. And this goes back to the same thing with Logan Paul, Jake Paul, KSI. Do you think they're good at sales? Do you think they're good? Maybe they are pretty good at marketing, but do you think they're good at fulfillment and services, creating websites, and all these tiny micro and macro skills? No. They have leverage, and they have an audience, and that leverage is capital. They have money to be able to hire that marketer, to be able to hire that website designer, right? So having, and to bring this back into the agency world, that having leveraged acquisition is easy. But Serge brought to my attention that I need to have leveraged fulfillment. Right, so leveraged acquisition, meaning like ads, content, to be able to put it in front of many people's eyes with money or content, right? And that's easy. And that makes sense that you can, instead of sending 100 DMs a day, you can just post a reel and reach 100 people, right? But the reel, you paid maybe $5 to get it edited. But the ads, you spent maybe 5 hours to send them, right? So you're trading 5 hours of time for $5. And that's how you can have leveraged acquisition. But Serge brought to my attention that I need to have leveraged fulfillment. So not only is the normal Facebook ads agency a commodity, it has no leverage, which means the margins are low. A good margins with a normal ads agency is 30%. There's high marginal cost of replication, which means when you sign on a new client, it costs money to fulfill for them. The goal is to have something as cheap as to $0 as you can when you have to onboard a client. So very little marginal cost of replication. So you could sign on 1 million clients and still pay $0 to onboard them. Obviously, that's the ideal model. Because there's so much supply for marketing agencies, but there's no demand. Because of this, and what I mean by that is there's so many marketing agencies coming up every single day. Do you think any of these local businesses are looking for a marketing agency? No. They're getting 10 cold calls a day and 5 DMs and seeing 5 ads. And since this is happening, the customer controls the price. Because they say, I talked to this guy, it's lower, and they're doing the same thing. Oh, I talked to that guy over there, and then he was charging lower and had the same exact offer, so I'm just going to go with him. And we're just cutting price. We're just cutting price. They'll drive it to as low as possible, enough for you to live, but not to thrive. Because the agency owners are willing to go as low as possible to barely stay profitable. Competition in your business is only good for the consumer, driving the price down, which doesn't allow you to have a good product because you can't charge enough. To have a good product, you need to charge a lot of money. Same thing with Lamborghini. They have really good and high quality cars because their cars are expensive, which allows them to have the capital to invest in their cars. And it's a cycle. So there's 3 types of leverage in business where we can apply this. Lowest leverage is done for you. So selling services and doing it for them. The middle amount of leverage is consulting and selling infrastructures and foundations. So consulting them. Oh, hey, you should do this. You should do this. And that's just a conversation. Do it yourself is selling something like information or software. So done for you is going to be like Facebook ad agency. We'll do your cold emails for you. We'll set up your cold emails. We'll do your short form content. Done with you would be, we'll go ahead and consult you on your ad strategy and teach you how you can get a lower cost per lead, which obviously takes a lot less time and you can handle a lot more clients for. Do it yourself would just be like videos or like software. So like Spotify or like Iman's course or if it was only a course, but he does a little consulting in there as well. But just videos, right? So obviously videos is the highest leverage because you just make them once and you can send them to everybody. So our goal is to have a leveraged service done with you or do it yourself that's premium and very, very good, so we can charge a lot of money for it. And then we can hire good talent to have a good service, right? So this is a cycle. We have a leveraged service, so done with you or do it yourself, that's really good. And so if it's really good, we can charge a lot of money. And if we charge a lot of money, we can hire good talent. So it's the same cycle that Lamborghini, Apple, all these people are using. Charge a lot, have a good product. Charge a lot, have a good product. And with the done with you, do it yourself service, our goal is to have very low to minimal marginal cost of replication. So at my agency, prior to using this fulfillment structure, I had 3 people fulfilling my service at $8,000 a month. And then after that, I also had 3 people fulfilling my service, but we were at $100K a month. And the difference between these 3 people was the level of talent that they had, right? So these 3 people in my agency at $8K a month were literally just VAs. But at $100K a month, they were specialists at what they did. So to recap the core insights that all these guys are leveraging, right? All these guys are leveraging in their current business and the same ones that they leverage to blow their marketing agency up. And this is what I need you guys to realize. That these guys weren't somebody until they were somebody. But they became somebody because you thought they were somebody and you saw their face every day. They were just like you. They weren't anybody. And then you saw them and you saw them and you saw them and you saw them again. And then they were somebody because you labeled them as somebody. None of them are any better than you. I'm not any better than you. The only difference is they figured it out, right? They figured it the fuck out. And right when you figure it out, you'll be in the same situation. So in essence, the perfect acquisition. So the perfect way to get clients would be no more outbound, right? So we can have leverage. We need to trust and leverage in our sales process. So with leverage, we need paid ads, we need content, and we need to generate, own, and educate and convert attention. The same way Iman's doing it with his free channel, the same way Kim K is doing it, the same way Jake Paul's doing it. We need to have attention on us. We need to own it, and we need to educate it on what we do, and then we need to convert it into a client. We need to become a delta individual in our niche so we can increase close rate and be respected more by our prospects. We need to build trust, which is the same thing as all these, which is leading to better leads, which is going to increase the close rate. And we need to have predictable spend and results. And this is what, this is super important. It's like organic leads are very good. Don't get me wrong. And if we could have predictable organic leads, that's what I would want. Right? Strictly organic. I'm saying like coming from your YouTube channel. But when you're relying on your YouTube channel and you're relying on the algorithm to get you views, to get you attention, then you're an algorithm hoe. Essentially, you're an algorithm hoe. And you're relying on the algorithm to scale your business. And I don't want to do that. I want to have predictable spend that I know if I spend this much, I'm going to get this much. If I put in this much time, I'm going to get this much. Predictability and data, right? So the perfect offer. The perfect offer is one that's truly irresistible, not the same as every other basic ass agency that has Facebook ads, cold email, short form content, TikTok ads even now, right? Not the same as everybody else, and one that actually stands out, which is also going to build more trust with our prospects. Our goal is to make it impossible for them to fail, allowing us to charge much more for the service, allowing us to have premium fulfillment, and making us stand out from the agencies, also helping us build trust like I was talking about. So the perfect fulfillment and pricing. We need to have a leveraged fulfillment structure so we can have more leverage in our business in general. With that, we need to delegate work, allowing us to focus on the highest leverage activities. We don't need to be in the trenches doing the fulfillment, or even let's say for done for you Facebook ads. We don't need to be in there in the trenches running their Facebook ads, calling their leads up, right? We need to delegate that work. And even if you don't have money, you can delegate the work, right? I delegated the work in my agency with commission only appointment setters, right? They only got money when we close clients. And I was able to do that when I was broke as fuck in the trenches, right? So we need to delegate work, allowing us to be able to focus on the highest leverage activities. The traditional ad agency has zero leverage. So we need it to be when a client comes on, we don't need to pay a bunch of money to onboard them. And we need to have very high margins. So we need a done with you or done do-it-yourself service that is so good that we can charge a lot of money for it. So we have that leverage service where we can onboard a bunch of clients, but we can also charge a bunch. And this is the little cycle. We charge a lot because we have a good service. We have a good service because we have a bunch of talented people to fulfill. Right? And if we have a bunch of talented people to fulfill, we're able to charge a lot. Right? And if we're able to charge a lot, we're able to hire talented people because we have the money. Right? And so this is the cycle. Our goal is to do this with an audience who trusts us and respects us so we can close at a high percentage and still have a low cost per acquisition. So what's the answer? How can you implement this? What do you want to do in your agency? The way we need to think about offer creation for your agency is with something I call root cause analysis. So we need to think about the core desire of the prospect and reverse engineer the solution. And I like to compare this to the Earth. So there's the crust, the continental crust, the oceanic crust, but crust, mantle, lower mantle, outer mantle, and the inner core. We start at the inner core, at the very, 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 very core of the Earth. And we work out. So what do they want at the very, very core? Right? And I'll pull up this lucid chart. So, like, what do they want, right? What is the underlying desire? And this comes down to Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Everybody wants one of these things in importance. So at the very, very bottom, they need water, food, shelter to live. And you're not providing that. They need safety, personal security, resources, a source of income, structure, order. So maybe you are providing them with this. What do they want here? Isolate it at the very, very bottom of human psychology, social. Maybe they're looking for friendship. Maybe they're looking to build a business with a team so they can have a team of brothers, right? Esteem. Maybe they're looking to boost their self-esteem, make some money for the status. Right, so what is your target avatar looking for? And it's at the end of the day, it's going to be time, money, or freedom. Right, that's what everybody does anything. So what are they looking for? And how can we reverse engineer a solution that gives that to them? So let's say time, money, or freedom, right? So why would somebody buy an agency from a Facebook ad agency? It could be freedom because they don't want to spend time cold calling anymore. Time. It could be freedom so they can get out of the day-to-day. It could be money. They just want to make more money, right? So find exactly what your prospect at the very underlying core, what they need and what they want, and then we identify the wants of the market. So how the target avatar wants to receive the service. So do they want it done for you? Do they want it done with you? Do they want to do it yourself? Right? Why are they buying it? Right? So the way I like to do it is to find what your target audience really wants. Is I like to go on YouTube. What's going viral on YouTube, TikTok? It's so easy. Okay, there's something going viral for appointment setting right now. Okay, so that's what we need to solve. Why does your market want that? And dive deep into that. Last step is creating the irresistible solution. So we need to make a fulfillment game plan that makes it impossible for them to fail. Right, and I've mentioned this multiple times, but I'm going to go ahead and give a solution. So let's say you're Facebook, go ahead and think of every way that they could fail on achieving their core value and reverse engineer a solution. For example, let's say you're a normal Facebook ad agency, and let's think about it. So you get them all the leads, but what if your prospect isn't able to close those leads? Right? If they're not able to close them, then they're not able to make money. So we provide consulting, sales training, and scripts and insights on how to close at a higher percentage. So now, you got them the leads. You helped them close it. They collected the cash. Everything seems awesome. Right? But we need to think a layer deeper. Right? So right now, we were at the core. We worked out to the inner mantle. Now we're working out to the outer mantle. Next problem. Their profit margins aren't high enough. They're not making enough money. So how can we solve that? We provide done with you consulting and done for you tracking sheets in order to lower their cost per acquisition and their cost of goods to increase their margins. So this is a fancy way of saying consult them. So help them lower their margins or increase their margins. Sorry about that. And help them and track the data for them so they have the ability to see it on a sheet. Okay. And let's say you did this for them and now they have good margins. Okay. But now they're making money, but they're working 12-hour days and they can't spend time with their family. Okay. So how can we solve that? Solution: place closers, place setters, etc. to remove the CEO from the day-to-day. Okay. So what else could they want? Could they want anything else? I don't think so. Right? We got them leads, we got them sales, we got them better margins, we removed them. And then think about it. How much are you willing to pay for lead gen for your agency? Just someone to run your ads. I wouldn't pay an outside agency more than like $1,000 a month unless they're really, really good. But for these 4 things, for them to get you leads, for them to help you close the leads, for them to help you increase your margins, for them to help you remove you from your business, how much would you pay for that? You would be willing to pay way, way, way more for that solution. Right? So that's the perfect offer. That is the perfect offer based on what these 3 quote unquote SMMA geniuses said. So what was the perfect acquisition and funnel? Right? So first we follow this framework about what they said and about what Iman does specifically because he's very, very good at this. You generate the attention. Right, so you just get in front of somebody's eyes, and let me go ahead and make this smaller real quick. You get in front of somebody's eyes, and then you collect their data. So you collect their name, email, phone number. You educate and nurture them, and this is where the sale is really done, and then you convert. Right, so this is the framework we're going to follow for all of our appointment setting and funnels. So we need to think back down to the core belief. What does the prospect want the most? And then we give it to them in an ad. We give it to them in an ad for free. So instead of doing a direct response ad, like I was mentioning earlier, where we just shove it in front of the 3% of the market, we're working on the 97% of the market who doesn't necessarily want to buy right now. But we're giving them something for free. We're giving them a free training, right? Completely free. So what do they want the most? What could they want the most out of everything in their business? Let's say their biggest bottleneck is let's just say lead gen, and their biggest bottleneck is lead gen, right? And they're not getting enough leads. Give them a tutorial on how to run their leads completely for free and run it as an ad on Facebook. You're going to be targeting the 97% of the audience that isn't necessarily ready to buy, right? But what that's going to do, and we're going to get into that, is going to give us a lead cost at way cheaper because we're giving something out for free. So $5 to $7 leads is what we're seeing on average versus around $20 leads with direct response ads. And we're seeing around $30 to $42 a book call. So out of 5 leads we get, we're seeing around 6 are booking, right? So, and out of the 6 that book, we educate them, we nurture them, and then we close them, right? So this is what everybody does essentially. Not exactly with the free training, but this is the exact direct response funnel, right? As usual. You put the ad, although this is the free training, which is going to make it way more profitable, and you'll see at the end. We get the lead for cheaper because it is a free training. We get the book call, 1 in 6 instead of 1 in 3 with direct response. We educate and nurture, right? And that's where we're building trust. And then we close. And you're probably like, yeah, cool. That's fucking what I'm doing right now. But this bottom part of this chart is what actually makes ads profitable, right? So the lead comes in, and let's say they don't book a call from the funnel. What happens is a growth specialist ends up contacting them as soon as possible. So within 5 minutes. So just basically a triager. So they contact them as soon as possible, and they text 2 times. And let's say they confirm and close, right? So you guys are doing this too. The lead comes in, and you call them within 5 minutes, and you book an appointment, right? So let's say the lead comes in, the GS texts and calls, but he doesn't answer. At this point, we go down to the other path, which is they get sent a first email. And this first email is basically saying that they opted in and if they wanted to book an appointment and have it implemented. And if they do book, that's a book call, right? But then what happens after this is they get put in a 12 email sequence, pushing them to a Facebook group or wherever your niche hangs out. So if you're in like a lot of local businesses hang out on Facebook, some people hang out on school, some people hang out on basically a group community, right? So they get put in this 12 email sequence and then they get put in the Facebook group. Not put in the Facebook group, they join the Facebook group. So there's two things we can do here. One, very simple, redirect these people in the Facebook group with retargeting ads. So they already showed interest, they already know your face, they already know who you are, right? So now when we retarget them with direct response ads, but basically being like, hey, do you want this? If they're like, yes, right, they trust us way more. We've already given them value because they got our free training video, right? We gave them the value on how to run their Facebook ads in my example. So here, confirm and close, right? Let's say they join the Facebook group and they don't click on the retargeting ad. What we do is we post lead magnets. So we post free trainings on Facebook ads, on all of these things into the Facebook group. And what this does is makes them watch your content, your long form content. It educates them. It nurtures them. It makes them trust you. Everything that we said is in the perfect funnel. We redirect them there. And then we post in the group or DM them saying, hey, do you want some more personalized trainings? And they're going to be like, yes, of course I want trainings. You've already given me so much value. I want more. Then what we do here, we send the training over. And then the growth specialist unlocks a bottleneck in their business after the asset is sent, right? So they send the asset, be like, okay, how's your business? What's going wrong in your business? Where are you at in your business? Just ask them questions and then go ahead, confirm and close. After they uncover the bottleneck, they're saying, okay, basically we can help you out. So in essence, this is this whole strategy. And in essence, right, we're educating them here. We're giving this to them for free. We're educating them here, sending them a 1 hour belief shifting VSL, right? Process selling VSL, basically educating them on your process, on that you know what you're doing before they take the call. So we're educating them here. We're educating them here. We're educating them here because when we contact them, we're saying, do you want more free trainings, right? We're educating them in this 12 email sequence. We're educating them in the Facebook group. We're educating them with our content. We're educating them with, whenever it says confirm and close, we're always doing this educating and nurturing before the closing call, right? We're educating them with the assets. Look how many times they're seeing our face before they buy, right? So that's the breakdown of the perfect funnel and acquisition. The perfect fulfillment and pricing is 80% done with you work, so consulting, and 20% done for you work, where it reverse engineers exactly what they need. So the reason this is because it's the perfect balance of leverage, A, where it doesn't cost a lot to onboard a client, but B, right, where we can charge a lot. Because if we're just selling a video course, we can only charge like $100, right, $200. But if we're selling this, we can sell it very high ticket because we're consulting and doing things for them, solving every problem A to Z, right? And we can have a little bit of do-it-yourself work in here with the course as well, if you want to provide a little bit more value. So, like I said, 0% chance of failure and little to no marginal cost of replication. So an example, let's say we have a solar Facebook ads normal agency right now, but instead we're going to place you a media buyer, place you a setter, place you a closer. We're going to set up GHL automations, all done for you. We're also going to consult you on training your team, consult you on having the best margins, consulting you on installers, which is a fancy solar word, consulting you on how to track your data, how to implement that, how to make more per deal, etc. Right? And since you built their whole marketing team, they're willing to pay you way more so they never have to pay an agency again. Because if you think about it, we're placing them a media buyer, setter, and closer, and GHL that they have forever, and consulting them on how to use it. So this is a system that a lot of agencies use. But if we implement it and place it in their business forever, and then they pay the media buyer $400 a month and the setter another $500 a month, and then the closer on only commissions, they're only spending $900 a month for a whole marketing system versus paying a agency they're spending $2,000-$3,000. So you're saving the money in the long run, which essentially allows you to charge way more money up front. So this is the flywheel, basically, of the fulfillment, right? First, we want a premium quality of service. So we want to have a high quality service, allowing us to charge high ticket upfront to a client and allowing us to stand out. So if we have this premium quality service, it allows us to charge a bunch of money. And if we charge a bunch of money, it allows us to have the capital to hire quality talent. And if we have quality talent, we're able to charge a lot of money, right? So we have high pricing power because we have a good service. We have a good service because we have talented individuals, right? And it makes sense. So this is the exact perfect fulfillment, right, in an agency. So here's the data on the fulfillment, on the acquisition, on the offer. Let's say our CPL is between $5 and $10 cost per lead, right? Because we're offering them something free. This is the same way Hermosi runs his ads, offering them something free, basically meaning that we're going to get more people to click on it and convert, right? But since it is a free training and it isn't direct response, right, we're only going to convert 1 in 6 rather than 1 in 3 with direct response. But since our lead's cheaper by such a significant margin, it's going to make our cost per book call also cheaper than direct response. So $5 to $10 a lead, $30 to $6 per booked call. Cost per qualified book call, right? So meaning they showed up and they had enough money to buy it and they didn't already have a mark, and they basically were qualified for the service. Let's say is 1 in 2 book calls. So between $60 and $120 per qualified book call. Let's say you close 1 in 6 deals, which is what? Around like a 17% closing rate, which honestly should be higher because we're educating them so much with our funnel. If we're closing 1 in 6, then our cost per acquisition to acquire one client would be $360 to $720. And so if you had to spend $360 to $720 and you got $5K to $15K in return, how much money would you spend? Because I know how much I'd spend, right? I just keep dumping it back in, right? And this is where we get predictable spend with a good product and good offer and a good funnel and a good acquisition and good education. That's when you can make a lot of fucking money that you can't even comprehend. So what's the math to 100K a month with this exact model? So the goal, let's reverse engineer it. The same exact thing with root cause analysis, right? The goal is 100K a month cash collected, so new cash. Let's say our average ticket price is 10K for this exact fulfillment product service. So if it's 10K, we need 10 new enrollments. If we need 10 new enrollments, we need to spend $3,600 to $7,200 to get 100K in return. So because 360 and 720 times 10. So if we want to get this return, we need 720 leads, right? If we have 720 leads, we need 120 appointments. If we have 120 appointments, we have 60 shown qualified appointments in 1 month. That is 2 qualified appointments a day. And that's what I need to get across to you. It's not about getting a bunch of appointments who can't even buy your shit. It's about getting qualified appointments, right? It's about getting qualified appointments who actually want to buy your product, right? And if you're getting qualified appointments who actually want to buy what you have, then that's where you're in the point where you can have one closer collect $100,000 in 1 month. So all you need is 2 qualified, shown appointments every day. That's literally it. So there's 2 ways to basically have success and implement this model, right? And this way of a marketing agency. Option A is you go and implement this yourself, right? And I need to get across to you that success takes 2 things: speed of knowledge and speed of execution. And I say this all the time. So if you learn fast and then you execute fast and implement fast and implement it in your business, that's when you succeed fast. So you have the knowledge now. And so all you have to do is execute, right? So that's option A. Option B is we help you fast track your success and implement this for you and with you. So basically how this would work is we address both bottlenecks. So A, speed of bottlenecks and ways of growth. So A, speed of knowledge. So first, we increase the speed of knowledge. So how we do this is we lay the foundation. So we lay out the biggest secret to wealth, prioritization, being a visionary who executes, and basically laying the foundation on everything you need to know to be able to be a business owner with a strong mind who can manage and lead. Because that's the most important thing. If you can manage and lead, you can succeed. I didn't even mean to rhyme there, but I did. So continuous learning and self-growth, frames to see the world, confidence and self-belief, failure and stress and how to manage that, time management, productivity, resilience, adaptability, resourcefulness. And like I said, this is probably the most important thing, prioritization and leverage. So second thing to increasing speed of knowledge is preparing the missile to launch, basically preparing the new model to go. So infrastructure and technology, doing all the boring stuff, basically the systems, setting up your GHL, setting up sheets, setting up tracking, integrating systems, setting up onboarding, sales, and finance automated tracking. So you're tracking no-shows automatically, how many percent of people are showing up, how many percent of your leads are qualified, what percent you're closing at, everything of that nature, what your profit margins are, how much you spent on the month. Basically keeping everything in track that it's hard to keep track of when you have a business under 10K, when you don't have the finances basically to be able to invest in that. So going over high level, how to use the pipelines, automations, how to leverage go high level for sales, attention generating, and appointment setting, how to manage data and analytics, the importance of data-driven decision making for business growth, which is super important. This is actually the only important thing in decision making in business, is making decisions off of data. So that's why we set up all your data, right? That's why we need to track all of our data so we can make decisions. Because let's think about it. Let's say you didn't track your show rate and you just thought that your show rate was like 50%, and then you made a decision to try and increase it. And then you didn't think you saw any increase or decrease, and you're like, I think it's 50%. But then in reality, if you're getting an extra show, right? And so these things go a long way in business. So tracking your data so you can make informed decisions on what to do next, right? And then to see if that pivot made a difference. So obviously how to use each sheet, how to improve, how the systems work into the client journey. And we also give you proven home building offers for your niche. So home building offers would just be offers. Building a home is what we like to call the offer and fulfillment. So for e-com, solar, real estate, every local business niche, cold email, short form content, everything, all the niches that we've worked in that we know work because we've had clients in that situation, will implement the offer. So next, generating, educating, and converting attention. So we'll give you high level skill sets here, generating attention, converting and educating attention, the value funnel mastermind, which is the exact system that I just showed you. So with that, on the Lucid chart. So with that, ad structure, pre-launch of the ads, how to make VSLs, process selling VSL, belief shifting VSL, proven funnels to work in your niche, pre-call homework masterclass, and how to get people to trust you, how to record and script winning ads, how to find winning copy and headlines for your ads, ad KPIs and how to scale your ads, direct response retargeting. So that was the bottom of the funnel, right? The bottom of the funnel once they join the Facebook group. So how to scale from 20K to 100K with that. Ad structure and launch for that as well. Organic outreach to hit 50K a month. So how to educate with long form content and how to hit 50K a month without paid ads at all. How to generate 30,000 views for free and everything like this. So how to set appointments, DM setting, closing masterclass, how to double your close rate, closing beliefs and ethics, things of that nature, right? And training on product. So how to find the core value of your niche, how to find exactly what your niche wants, crafting your offer and fulfillment structure using root cause analysis, giving away the best thing for free, creating a grand slam offer, how to build a $1 million a year team. And this is super important, right? Leveraging a team, building a team, really having leverage here. The 3 hires you need to make $100,000 a month, how to remove yourself from sales and ramp up sales teams, how to increase LTV 3 times, lifetime value. So how to make 3 times more per client, which really is going to scale your business 3 times. And then same thing, proven offers and fulfillment structures in every agency that we've worked with. So e-com, solar, every local business, like I was talking about earlier. So this is all just information, right? And this isn't even that important, right? Because You can only consume so much information, and what the important thing is implementation. So what I'm offering you is basically we just help you implement it way faster. So the step 2, right? The 2 phases of success and growth: speed of execution, speed of knowledge. So step 2, fixing speed of execution. So we're going to speed up that rate of implementation. So my goal is to get you to start doing activities that usually takes founders 3 years to do, but to do it in a month. Right? So the first 4 weeks in the program essentially are going to take you through a boot camp, right? To get rid of all your old behaviors that aren't efficient and aren't working and keeping you at 5, 6, 7K a month, wiping the slate clean, wax on, wax off like Mr. Miyagi in order to build 7-figure insights and infrastructures, right? So basically wiping your whole brain to be able to start from scratch to be able to scale. So what we're going to do, we're going to build your offer and fulfillment structure for you, right? Your whole offer, your whole fulfillment structure, your whole, fulfillment in general. We're going to find the market segment in your niche that you can charge the most for, right? Charge the most to. We're going to place and find setters, your growth team, growth specialists, fulfillment managers, closers. We're going to audit your current skill set in business, giving you a personalized 4-month game plan. We're going to have done with you media buying and ads help, so the exact insights to book 100 calls a week or more. So we're going to do that audit, and we're going to see like what financial situation you're in, if you have money to invest into ads, if you have money to invest into VAs and things like that. So if you don't have much money, we'll go outbound. We'll place those setters. We'll give you SOPs. We'll give you scripts. If you do have money to invest into ads, we'll give you our exact media buying and everything, help you launch your ads, give you the exact way we launch ads, help you with your scripts and everything like that. So we'll give you done for you data sheets, everything like I mentioned earlier, tracking show rate, business KPIs, your profit margins, how much revenue, how much commission payouts you have, things like that. Completely automated, integrated with high level. We'll help you build long form content to educate your audience and build a high conversion rate, so close rate. So basically help you own attention. We'll place an editor for you if you need one. Someone to script your content if you need one. If not, then no worries. But this is one of the most important things, one of the most important skill sets to have. We'll consult you on how to pick the highest leverage activity in your business, right? So how you can always make sure that you're doing something that's going to drive revenue. And you can basically ask me questions whenever you want. So if you're interested in having this implemented for you, right, rather than going about doing it yourself, click the link in the description, book a call. We'll go build a custom game plan on how we can implement this for you. So every time I launch one of these trainings, I take the first 5 implementation calls. So whether you're talking to me or one of my growth consultants, your whole business will be audited. So where you're at right now, where you want to go, what kind of things you want to do like that, what your goals are, what funnels you're running right now, what fulfillment you're doing, and we'll give you a complete audit, and then that's when we'll give you the game plan. So you'll just have a conversation about that with either me or one of my growth consultants who's obviously paid to audit your business. And then from there, you can see if you want this to be implemented or not. So whether you're talking to me or one of my growth consultants, I hope you guys enjoy the training, and I'll see you then.